Hi there everyone, my name is Angelica and welcome to this Healthy Haven. For this video, I want to share with you guys my great, simple, non-toxic recipe for a laundry detergent. So for this recipe, I make two types of versions. I make a free and clear and an extra strength. So I have them both here, and as you can see, I'm running low, so it was a perfect time for me to film this video. So as far as ingredients, you will need, and this is for the free and clear version, which we'll make first, you'll need a non-scented Castile bar soap, and I like to use Dr. Bronner's. We pretty much use that exclusively in our household. I have here 1 cup of super washing soda, and I have a 1/4 cup of just pure Epsom salt, and then I have 2 tablespoons of citric acid. And I found the citric acid on Amazon, and then the other 2 you can just find at most grocery stores. So to get started, what we will need to do is we'll need to grate and make a fine powder, the bar soap, okay? So to do that, the best way is to have a really strong blender. So what I'm going to be using today is just a Ninja. And so basically for this, you wanna make sure that everything's really dry. So you wanna make sure that the soap was in a nice dry environment. You want to make sure your blender is nice and dry, and that's typically the best way because we want it to become a fine powder. And it can take a little bit of work. So here, let's see how it looks. We do have a little ball in here that I need to put through it again, but the rest is looking really good. So let me try a different setting on my blender. So we still have that little ball in there. What I'm going to do is just pour out most of it and then just do that little ball on its own. So then I'm gonna put back in the blender the parts that just need a little bit extra help. That looks good to me. It doesn't need to be super perfect because again, we're gonna blend it again. And then again, we're gonna do the 1 cup of super washing soda. Mix all that in there. The 1/4 cup of Epsom salt. And the 2 tablespoons of citric acid. So you know, all these ingredients are really nice and healthy. You know, they're pure. Citric acid is food grade. So we have, you know, a super non-toxic recipe here, which is exactly what I wanted for my family. Okay, so now I'm going to put the other attachment to my blender since it's bigger, and we're gonna mix everything together in here. Okay, perfect. And we'll put these things to the side. And you can absolutely choose to wear a face mask when you're doing this. I typically do, but I didn't want to for the video. It does release a little bit of fumes from the super washing soda and the citric acid, but that's just up to you. Okay, so then I'm just gonna use a funnel, take out the blade, and the goal really is for it to look as, you know, as fine as possible. That's kind of why I do the 2 blenders, so that really helps, I think. So then as far as measurements, what you want to do is you want to use about a tablespoon per load. If it's one that you want to clean a little bit extra, then you can just do 2 tablespoons. And this one came out really nice and smooth. It takes practice. The first one that I made had a little bit more grains to it and things like that, but this one's a lot better. Again, it helps to make sure everything's super dry while you do it. Okay, so here's our final product of the free and clear. So that looks really nice. And if you can see down here, it's not as fine and powdery because that was the first time or one of the first times that I made this recipe. So you do get better with time. So next we're gonna make the extra strength one. And this one I'm really proud of because it really helps to get those clothes that need that extra boost extra clean. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, so now that we've finished our free and clear, we're gonna move on to that extra strength one that I was talking about. So for this one, I'm going to do my personal scent. So you can definitely choose whichever scent you want. This one just works really well because it's got strong scents of eucalyptus and citrus and lemon and all that. And it really helps to clean the clothes in an extra strength way. So what I'm going to be using for this one is the All-in-One Hemp Citrus by Dr. Bronner's. So again, we're going to start off by cutting this in half. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm also going to use that same 1 cup of superwashing soda, and I'm still going to use the same 2 tablespoons of citric acid. One of the ingredients here that works really well is this next one. I'll have to link the brand below. I believe it's something called Soothing Touch Bath Salts, and it's basically this muscle soak, and it has several different salts. It has Epsom salt, sea salt, I think Dead Sea salt, and then they also include pure essential oils. So I saw that at the supermarket and I was like, let me try this. So it works really well because the scent is just invigorating. So I use 1/4 cup of this instead of the pure Epsom salt for the free and clear version. And then I also do about 20 drops of lemon essential oil and 20 drops of eucalyptus. So this makes sure that the smell is really present. You can choose to not do these because it's still pretty strong with just the regular ingredients. So I'm just gonna go ahead now and blend this up and get it as nice and powdery as I can. Again, I'm just going to get it all out, and it still made a few little clumps that I want to do individually. Okay, so that looks really good now. And I'm the type of person that scrapes till the very end. Okay. Cool. So then we'll do the 1 cup of the superwashing soda again. The 1/4 cup of that bath salt mix that I told you guys about. And the 2 tablespoons of the citric acid. I'm going to mix it with my spoon real quick. And then I'll do my essential oils. So I do about 20 each. So that was lemon, and then this is eucalyptus. You want to really incorporate those essential oils before we place it back in the blender. And if you don't have a blender that has such high power, then what you can do is just go a little bit at a time. So you can just do it by bits and bits. And this smells really nice. So for some reason, the eucalyptus with the citrus works really well. Okay, so again, we'll just blend this up to make it a little bit more powdery and more well mixed. And as you can see, it makes a pretty good amount. I'll put in the description box for how many loads this would work. But it lasts me quite a bit. And something that I wanted to say, this recipe is really nice because it doesn't matter, even the healthiest laundry detergent that you can find in most supermarkets, they still don't have the simplicity of this recipe, okay? They still don't have that EWG, if you've heard of them. They still don't have, their A rating. It's really hard to find something that's truly non-toxic. So that's why I was out on the search for this. Another good thing about this recipe is just how cheap your laundry detergent ends up being. I haven't made the calculations, but it's definitely cheaper than something you can buy in store. Especially with how expensive, natural living is nowadays. Okay, so there you have it. We have our free and clear laundry detergent, and we have our extra strength. The first time that I tried this recipe, I really loved it because I noted the difference immediately. The homemade recipes that I had tried prior to that just didn't work, and you could smell it in our clothes within a few days. So that's definitely not what we want. These recipes, if I'm sharing them, it's because they work really well. So please comment below and let me know if you're gonna try it or if you tried it and how it works for your family. I'd love to hear it. Please click like and subscribe if you can. Thank you so much for watching at This Healthy Haven.